Okay, sorry. I had to redo my footage, part of my footage, so this will be a part two. So I still want to go back to the inmate in Louisiana that was abused by the correction officer, and the footage, one of the deputies who was out in the yard, he actually saw what happened, and they have video outside in the yard, and he took that video and told the warden exactly what happened. The warden refused to even look at the video. He paid it no mind. He did not care. And this guy had been bitten up by the dog. He had been beaten and stomped by the officer. And now it's come out where the deputy had brought it up again. And, well, what happened is, too, at the prison, a 22-year-old was found in a van when he was being transported there. He was found in the van dead. And they said that he killed himself, and he was handcuffed. So a lot of investigations have started coming up at this prison in Louisiana. So now the footage has come about. So now that warden, of course, has been fired. The inmate who still can show scars to people from the dog bites that he received, and this has been 2 years. And also, they released him saying time served. Now, he had gotten 8 years, but now they're saying time served because of what happened. And they actually offered him, can you believe this, $2,000. But his lawyers that he has and the advocates, prison advocates, have stated that they are going for the bucks. They're going to sue that prison for $55 million, including that warden. This is crazy. We have been just brutalized for so long, and now all of this is coming about. It just seems as though that black people were considered not human beings. And if you go back in history and read your history books, you'll see that that's exactly what it was. I've read books where when they were taking the babies from the moms during slavery times, where the master has said, don't worry about her. They don't have real feelings. She'll forget all about that baby tomorrow. So now things are coming about, and people are beginning to see exactly what's going on. See, it was hidden from the masses for years because there are many white people who don't agree with racism. If they didn't, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we have. The North would have stayed the North, and the South would have remained in slavery. So everybody is not bad. So now, even in New York right now, yesterday, it was beautiful. Once again, New York is not playing. They took over Times Square. It was peaceful, but all races were out. And the same thing in Baltimore last night and yesterday, all races were out. And white people have come into the inner city of Baltimore, and they're protesting as well, because they now see that we're not just saying we're being brutalized, that we actually are being brutalized. So this is a good thing. Awareness is coming to the world to see exactly what's going on. You know, when Emmett Till, those of you who don't know who Emmett Till was, he was a 10-year-old boy who was killed in down south, and when he was murdered by the Ku Klux Klan for winking at a white woman, he was beaten and shot and tied to a tire iron, and his body was unrecognizable. And his mother made sure that the world saw it. She had an open casket so that the world could actually see what was going on. So this is what's happening now. The world is beginning to see exactly what's going on. In Nigeria, I'm really happy to report that 160 young women have been captured. A female hostage and a soldier were killed during the rescue operation at Sambizia. But the troops have saved 200 girls and 93 women Tuesday. We're not sure that any of them were the Shabak girls who we've been asking and hashtagging on Twitter to bring the girls home, the girls who were kidnapped from their schools. But the mass abduction of more than 200 girls in April, they're still looking for some of them. The Boko Haram leader, Abubakar Shukwu, not only bragged about abducting those girls, but said he would sell them in the market like slaves. Those rescued Tuesday were at least initially in operational areas and not yet cleared for accessibility for health workers. Even the rescue workers found other girls that they didn't even know about that were being held in the forest areas that they weren't able to even get to. Such mass rescues have been rare, though kidnappings, unfortunately, have not been rare with the Boko Haram. The right groups applauded the rescues, and they're urging troops to ensure the victims get the support that they need. Many of these girls, more than 2,000 women and girls, have been abducted by Boko Haram since last year, and that's horrible. And we're hoping that that will change as well. And some of the girls who have been rescued, we know, are going to need much care, and they are also going to need mental health care as well. Let's see what else I wanted to tell you guys. Popeye's manager. Let me tell you about her. This is really ridiculous. This girl working at Popeye's, they were robbed, and they were robbed of $400. The managers say that you have to pay back. Okay, let me tell you. The surveillance video shows a man run into a restaurant with a beanie over his face while waving a gun. So now he forces the employees to the floor, then turns his attention onto the manager. So she originally had got terminated because she refused to pay back $400 that was stolen during the robbery. Now, the owner of the store of Popeyes argued that she was fired because she broke company policy multiple times by leaving so much money in the register. So she was fired and told she has to pay back the $400. Well, of course, she got a lawyer. They're suing Popeyes for $5.5 million. And then all of a sudden, Popeyes offered her money back and some money for restitution, and she as well said no way. She wanted to sue. But another Popeyes franchise, because their franchises called her and asked her to come work for them. And so she's agreed to come work for them, but as far as I know, the lawsuit will still go on, and it should go on. I don't even know why she would want to go back to Popeyes after that. It's been a whole month right now in food poisoning. So you got to be really careful about things that you're eating nowadays. If you're handling raw meat, make sure you wash your hands, wipe down your counters, make sure that you wipe down when you're using your seasoning, wipe down those your seasoning as well. Wipe down everything around you each time that you're handling the meat, because it's transported. And food poisoning, if you've ever had it, is no joke. The Ebola outbreak is still continuing in West Africa, and particularly in Guyana, Liberia, Sierra Leone. And meanwhile, the World Health Organization publicly has admitted serious failings in how they've handled that crisis. And an HIV outbreak is going on in Indiana